So it seems when I wasn't watching, Fenty Beauty went ahead and launched some products. What I'm gonna do is use these products in a Meg Thee Stallion, what is it called? Grammys inspired eyeshadow tutorial. So if you want to see the new Stalk'R palette and the new Gloss Bomb Heats that they launched, and if you want to know whether or not they're worth your coin, then keep on watching. So Meg Thee Stallion wore this look to the Grammys. Like, this is sultry, this is stunning, this is come hither kind of makeup look. I saw an article saying that this is the most dramatic look on the Grammys red carpet. So I figured, you know what? I want to try it out, because if this is the most dramatic look they could put on the Grammys red carpet, I definitely have to see what it's gonna look like on me. Okay, anyway, so because this is a Fenty video, I'm gonna start out with my brow MVP. I'm gonna go ahead and prep my brows. I like to line the bottoms of my brows before I start my look. I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the shade Rich Chocolate, and Rich Chocolate is very light on my skin tone. I'm gonna use that on the tail of my brow. Now for the front of the brows, we're gonna be using the One Size Butter Silk Concealer, and this is the shade Deep 3. And I'm doing a two-tone brow because tail of my brow will be highlighted, the front of my brows will blend perfectly in. Okay, I'm taking the Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. This is an eyeshadow primer. Okay, and I always like to blend my eye primers in with my finger because it gives me a good coverage and make sure that the product is melted into my skin. Next, I'm gonna go in with eyeshadow primer. I'm using my Eye Prep Eye Prime. This is the shade number 3 from Juvia's Place, and I'm going to put that on my eye. For this one, I only use like a tiny bit for both eyes. It's very creamy and it blends in so easily, and you literally only need a little bit for your eyes. You don't need a lot. I'm just gonna let this settle down a bit because the goal is not to get the most pigmented kind of look out of the palette. So this is the new Fenty Stalk'R palette. This is what it looks like. Classic. Well, actually, this is one of the classic looks of Fenty. Clean, metallic, golden. This is what you get. Okay, this is the Face and Eye Bronzer Highlighter Palette Stalk'R. The colors in here reflect their Stalk'R bronzers, which is the individual bronzers that they have in one single place for you, and it comes with 2 highlighters. It is cute. This is a very, very neutral palette. If you're someone who likes neutral looks, this is going to be right up your alley. This is the perfect workflow palette. For someone like me who tends to like go overboard and just do something different, this palette is going to prevent me from doing that, okay? We're definitely going to need the help of another palette. I'm going to be seeking the help of the Juvia's Place Culture palettes because the Stalk'R will not give me exactly what I need. I am going into this orange shade right here, this burnt orangey shade. Okay, so I'm just going to use that in my crease. Maybe I should have used a lighter base. I'm gonna wipe my eyes and use a lighter base. We're going back into that Juvia's Place shade. I'm going to place that in my crease, and it's going to give me that warm transition that Meg has in her look. I might also have to do mine a little bit more pigmented than hers because skin tones makes it a little bit different in looks, so I just have to intensify my transition just a little bit. But what I'm gonna do is take this same warm shade, I'm gonna blend it along my crease so you can see I'm blending as I'm applying. And usually if I was doing like a pigmented look, I would stamp it in so that it looks like I'm getting an intense color payoff. But today I'm applying and blending at the same time because I don't want that transition shade to be too deep. I'm using the Fenty 230 brush. This is a blending brush, and I generally use circular motion to blend out colors. So make sure you get right in that groove over there. This is definitely a blend. And I'm taking this shade in here using the same brush, and on the corner of my eye, I'm going to place that shade and blend it up. Okay, so the look, you can see that the cool tones come into the warm tone, but it doesn't like extend all the way to the front. So we're just gonna leave it right where it is. We're gonna do half blend like that. And then we're gonna focus everything else on the tail of this. We're gonna blend it up into our warm shade so that it gives us a gorgeous transition. This blend is gorgeous. Orange blends on me just take your eyeshadow base, in this case the Juvia's Place #1. I have this ColourPop E3 brush. It's a very good brush for cutting your crease. I put some of my here because on a regular day, if I look up at you, this is where my eyelid will stop. So what I like to do is just go a little bit above this mark right here, which essentially is where I already marked it. I'm gonna go a little bit above that, just like that. You don't have to cut your crease with this look. You can just take the lightest shade in the palette, which is this shade, okay? And I'm gonna put it right here, taking the shade. And if you don't want to use any kind of cut crease kind of business, you just take your brush and do this. You just follow the eye and it will kind of give you that almost cut crease look. But I just wanted it to be a little bit more precise. That's why I did what I did. You can do that and it's fine. I like this look better compared to this look. I'm taking that shade I showed you and I'm going to stamp it. If you have hooded eyes, you have to make sure that you're putting enough powder on your base to set it in place, because if you don't set it, as soon as you look up, guess what's gonna happen? Lines in your eyeshadow, and you don't want that. Which side of the eye do you like better? Diffuse kind of side, or do you like the more precise kind of side? I like the precise side. I'm taking the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner. This is the shade Cause I'm Black, okay? And I'm going to recreate this on this side. I'm gonna start out with like a regular liner. The tip has to curve up. So what I'm doing is starting in the corner of the eye, almost like from my lower lash line, and I'm gonna curve it up. Every once in a while you have to cap it and like shake it because it is a felt tip. Then I'm going to line from this little tail that I have over here, and I'm gonna curve it up. Take your time, it's not a race. I'm going into Hershey Kisses palette, taking a small brush. This is the Ray Ray by BH Cosmetics brush. I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to use that to blend into the tail of our graphic liner. And yes, it's not exactly black, but it shows up very beautifully. And if I had used black, I feel like it definitely wouldn't have showed up like this for me. Going into this shade and I'm going to blend into our cut crease. This is a very small brush. This is an Anastasia, I think it's a brow brush, but it's very small. And so an eyeshadow brush it is today. Taking our orange shade, I'm gonna blend into the rest of the eye look. I'm taking our Fly Liner and I'm going to do a wing liner inside this graphic liner. Okay, so I'm taking some of our eyeshadow base and I'm gonna use it to clean up and also just fix any mistakes, because before this was more elongated. I went ahead and cut it in half and that made it a little bit more like this eye. It's never gonna be 100%, but as close as it possibly can be, okay? So we're going in with the Fenty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. If nothing at all, you guys know that we use primer. 1 pump per section. Okay, make sure you get under your eyes as well. I'm gonna go in with some of my Makeup Forever Shine Control Primer. Ooh. My face looks weird, and that's okay. And with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation, this is the new formula. This is the shade 490. I'm gonna take my Juvia's Place foundation brush and blend it in to my skin. I can't find my 490 concealer, so I'm gonna use the 495 and 480. Okay, we're gonna put 480 on the inner corner. I have 495. It might do the job. Oh my god, I completely forgot how full coverage and creamy this concealer is, and I just totally overused it on my face. I'm using the Sigma F64 brush, and as you can see, I'm pushing the concealer in. I'm not trying to blow it out. I'm going into the Fenty Nutmeg setting powder, but before we do that, I need to blend the edges of my concealer with my foundation. So this is one of those concealers that will crease on you. As you can see, I already have like creases, so I'm gonna look up and blend out a little bit before I set it. I have the bronzer. This is Toffee Tease. This is the cream contour. This is what it does. Going into Eye Face palette, and of course we're taking our contour and just, you know, contouring. Going into my Juvia's Place palette, obviously I can't find my used one, so I opened up my backup one. I put blush on my nose. But another thing I started doing a while ago was applying blush to my lip like this. I like the look that it gives. Powder blush on top of cream blush just gives a very nice kind of look. It just gives a different kind of look. I'm going to blend my setting powder into the blush, that way it doesn't give this harsh line that you see over there. Milani Anti-Gravity Mascara. I'm taking the Fenty Flight Pencil in the shade Black Card. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that it stays in my waterline. Okay, it's not black enough. So I'm gonna use the Juvia's Place Cajal Black Liner. Okay, and what you're gonna do is kind of sort of connect that black liner to our black graphic liner. My eye's gonna water. Okay, I'm gonna take the Too Faced Killer Liner. This is the shade Killer Cashmere, and I'm gonna put it right here towards the inner part of my eye. Just a little twist to the look because I don't want it to be black all the way to my inner corner. Okay, I'm taking the deepest shade in the Stalk'R palette, and I'm gonna use that to blend out my lower lash line. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade in the palette, and I'm just gonna sweep it over the lightest part of this eyeshadow look just to give it a little bit of a shine. Then I'm gonna bring it a little bit lower, like a inner corner highlighter. Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay, that shade is everything in a bag of beans, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and set with the one size. I'm gonna take the slightly deeper highlighter in here, this one. I'm gonna be very careful, but I'm also gonna use it to highlight. Ooh, goodness. Okay, I definitely have to be careful about it. Taking my powder brush, and I'm just gonna go over it so that it can mute down a little bit. Okay. I am going to swatch the new Gloss Bomb Heat. This is Lavender Savage. This is what it looks like. I like the Gloss Bomb Heat because it stays on your lips for a while, and it has this I just ate spicy food kind of feeling on my lips. I like spicy food, so this is like right up my alley. This is what it looks like on. The Gloss Bomb Heats barely have any color to it. They have hints of whatever shade they look like on, but it's not like intense to where you can see like a dramatic difference. So for the lips, I'm using the new lipstick in the shade Major Magnate, and then I'm gonna line over it with my Morphe Richie liner. Okay, so I did not wipe the Gloss Bomb Heat off my lips before I put Major Magnate on it. I just put everything directly onto the Gloss Bomb Heat, and this is what it's looking like. Okay guys, so this is my finished look, trying and recreating Megan Thee Stallion's Grammy eyeshadow makeup look on dark skin. I mean, honey, let's get into the eyes. The look aside, let's talk about the Stalk'R palette. The Stalk'R palette, if you are lighter than me, is going to be a beautiful bronzer palette for you. On my skin tone, I could definitely use this as my nose contour. I can use these guys as under eye powders, but I cannot use them as bronzers. Definitely love these shades. They're very good for the eyes. On the face, they're very fine, very powdery, and I feel like they go very well on a cream base, but by themselves, especially because I'm dark skinned, I feel like it's a little too intense for me. But I was able to use it, and I was able to like mute it down with my powder brush. The Gloss Bomb Heat, I already told you guys I love Gloss Bomb Heat. Definitely a mild color, so don't expect like high pigment. I think I'm gonna put this in my Telfar bubblegum bag. All the links to all the products that I use down below so you can check it out. Let me know what you think about this look. Love you lots, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.